And Ephippus led the demon of the Red Sea with the column, and they both took the column and raised it aloft from the earth. And I outwitted these two spirits, so that they could not shake the entire earth in the moment of time. And then I sealed round with my ring on this side and that, and said, Watch! And the spirits have remained upholding it until this day, for proof of the wisdom vouchsafed to me. And there the pillar was hanging of enormous size in mid-air, supported by the winds. And thus the spirits appeared underneath, like air, supporting it. And if one looks fixedly, the pillar is a little oblique, being supported by the spirits. And it is so to this day. And I, Solomon, questioned the other spirit which came up with the pillar from the depth of the Red Sea. And I said to him, Who art thou, and what calls thee, and what is thy business? For I hear many things about thee. And the demon answered, I, O King Solomon, am called Abezathabad. I am a descendant of the archangel. Once I sat in the first heaven, of which the name is Amiluth. I then am a fierce spirit and winged, and with a single wing, plotted against every spirit under heaven. I was present when Moses went in before Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and I hardened his heart. I am he whom Ians and Iambres invoked, homing with Moses in Egypt. I am he who fought against Moses with wonders, with signs. I said therefore to him, How wast thou found in the Red Sea? And he answered, In the exodus of the sons of Israel I hardened the heart of Pharaoh, and I excited his heart and that of his ministers. And I caused them to pursue after the children of Israel, and Pharaoh followed with me and all the Egyptians. Then I was present there, and we followed together, and we all came up upon the Red Sea. And it came to pass, when the children of Israel had crossed over, the water returned and hid all the host of the Egyptians and all their might. And I remained in the sea, being kept under this pillar. But when Ephippus came, being sent by thee, shut up in the vessel of a flask, he fetched me up to thee. I therefore, Solomon, having heard this, glorified God, and adjured the demons not to disobey me, but to remain supporting the pillar. And they both swear, saying, The Lord thy God liveth, we will not let go this pillar until the world's end. But on whatever day this stone fall, then shall be the end of the world. Solomon had great wisdom. He had control over the demons of the air, and he spoke to them, asked them questions. They had to be truthful with him. Pillars being born through the air. Pillars flying up in the sky. I don't think rocket technology, rocket science, is anything but demon science.
And they said, Go to, let us build us a city and a tower, whose top may reach unto heaven, and let us make us a name, lest we be scattered abroad upon the face of the whole earth. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they have all one language, and this they begin to do. And now nothing will be restrained from them which they have imagined to do.
And he said to me, Because of their iniquity their judgment has been completed, and they will no longer be counted before me. Because of their sorceries they have searched out and learned, the earth and those who dwell upon it will be destroyed.
And behold, in those days one of the workmen of ripe old age threw himself down before me and said, King Solomon, pity me, because I am old. So I bade him stand up and said, Tell me, old man, all you will. And he answered, I beseech you, king, I have an only born son, and he insults and beats me openly. and plucks out the hair of my head and threatens me with a painful death. Therefore, I beseech you, avenge me." And I, Solomon, on hearing this, felt compunction as I looked at this old age. And I bade the child be brought to me. And when he was brought, I questioned him whether it were true. And the youth said, "I was not so filled with madness as to strike my father with my hand. Be kind to me, O king, for I have not dared to commit such impiety, poor wretch that I am." But I, Solomon, on hearing this from the youth, exhorted the old man to reflect on the matter, and accept his son's apology. However, he would not, but said he would rather let him die. And as the old man would not yield, I was about to pronounce sentence on the youth, when I saw Orneus the demon laughing. I was very angry at the demons laughing in my presence, and I ordered my men to remove the other parties and bring forward Orneus before my tribunal. And when he was brought before me, I said, "Accursed one, why did thou look at me and laugh?" And the demon answered, "Prithee, king, it was not because of thee I laughed, but because of this ill-starred old man and the wretched youth, his son. For after 3 days his son will die untimely, and lo, the old man desires to foully make away with him." But I, Solomon, having heard this, said to the demon, "Is that true that thou speakest?" And he answered, "It is true, O king." And I, on hearing that, bade them remove the demon, and that they should again bring before me the old man with his son. I bade them make friends with one another again, and I supplied them with food. And then I told the old man after 3 days to bring his son again to me here. And I said, I will attend to him. And they saluted me and went their way. And when they were gone, I ordered Orneus be brought forward and said to him, "Tell me how you know this." And he answered, "We demons ascend into the firmament of heaven and fly about among the stars. And we hear the sentences which go forth upon the souls of men. And forthwith we come, and whether by force or of influence, or by fire, or by sword, or by some accident, we veil our act of destruction. And if a man does not die by some untimely disaster or by violence, then we demons transform ourselves in such a way as to appear to men and be worshipped in our human nature. I therefore, having heard this, glorified the Lord God, and again I questioned the demons, saying, Tell me how ye can ascend into heaven, being demons, and amidst the stars and holy angels intermingle. And he answered, Just as things are fulfilled in heaven, so also on earth are fulfilled the types of all of them. For there are principalities, authorities, world rulers, and we demons fly about in the air, and we hear the voices of the heavenly beings, and survey all the powers, and as having no ground basis on which to alight the rest, we lose strength and fall off like leaves from trees. And men, seeing us, imagine that the stars are falling from heaven. But it is not really so, O king, but we fall because of our weakness, and because we have nowhere anything to lay hold of, and so we fall down like lightnings in the depth of the night, and suddenly, and we set cities in flames and fires in the fields. For the stars have firm foundations in the heavens, like the sun and moon. Ephesians chapter 6, verses 10 through 13 says this, Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord and in the power of his might. Put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Ezekiel chapter 7 verse 22 says, My face will I turn also from them, and they shall pollute my secret place. For the robbers shall enter into it and defile it. Second Esdras chapter 15 verse 25 says, I won't spare them. Go away, faithless children. Don't defile my sanctuary. In John 10 verse 1, Jesus says, Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same is a thief and a robber.
beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
Then I turned and lifted up mine eyes and looked, and behold, a flying roll. And he said unto me, What seest thou? And I answered, I see a flying roll. The length thereof is 20 cubits, and the breadth thereof 10 cubits. Then said he unto me, This is the curse that goeth forth over the face of the whole earth. For every one that stealeth shall be cut off, as on this side according to it. And every one that sweareth shall be cut off, as on that side according to it. I will bring it forth, saith the Lord of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name.
Then I lifted up mine eyes, and saw, and behold, there stood before the river a ram which had 2 horns, and the 2 horns were high, but one was higher than the other, and the higher came up last. I saw the ram pushing westward, and northward, and southward, so that no beasts might stand before him. Neither was there any that could deliver out of his hand. But he did according to his will, and became great. And as I was considering, behold, an he-goat came from the west on the face of the whole earth, and touched not the ground. And the goat had a notable horn between his eyes. And he came to the ram that had 2 horns, which I had seen standing before the river, and ran unto him in the fury of his power. And I saw him come close unto the ram, and he was moved with choler against him, and smote the ram, and brake his 2 horns. And there was no power in the ram to stand before him, but he cast him down to the ground, and stamped upon him, and there was none that could deliver the ram out of his hand. Therefore the he-goat waxed very great, and when he was strong, the great horn was broken, and for it came up 4 notable ones toward the 4 winds of heaven. And out of one of them came forth a little horn, which waxed exceeding great toward the south, and toward the east, and toward the pleasant land. And it waxed great, even to the host of heaven. And it cast down some of the host and of the stars to the ground, and stamped upon them. Yea, he magnified himself even to the prince of the host, and by him the daily sacrifice was taken away.
So how does it feel to ride in a dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9?
Yeah, wow. I tell you, I don't know if there's words really to properly describe what that felt like. You talk about sitting on a dragon on top of the beast, and it definitely was. You knew you were going somewhere, and this one was a little bit longer, so we actually had to live in dragon for quite a while.
Ride in a dragon on top of the beast named Falcon 9.
And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth. And he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon.
Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast. Yeah, wow.
Stage 1 entry startup.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. And he doeth
Stage
great
1 is
wonders,
transonic.
so that he maketh fire come down from
Stage
heaven
1
on the
landing
earth in the
startup.
sight of men. Fire come down from heaven on the earth.
Stage 1 landing leg deploy.
Fire come down from heaven on the earth. Fire come down from heaven on the earth.
Falcon 9 has landed.
Sitting on a dragon on top of the beast.
It's a bottomless pit.
In this abyss of darkness.
I really believe in the space frontier of the abyss, so to speak.
The good abyss. The good abyss.
This is the only place that humans have outside of planet Earth where humans can live. And if you like, down there on Earth, you can actually see it with your naked eye. You just go to the ISS website and it tells you when to see us. You can look up in the sky and you will see this bright little star moving over the sky.
Enoch chapter 18 verses 13 through 15. I saw there 7 stars like great burning mountains. And to me, when I inquired regarding them, the angel said, "This place is the end of heaven and earth. This has become a prison for the stars and the host of heaven." And the stars which roll over the fire are they which have transgressed the commandment of the Lord in the beginning of their rising, because they did not come forth at their appointed times. And he was wroth with them, and bound them till the time when their guilt should be consummated, even for 10,000 years.
And here we are, 6 humans on the International Space Station, the embassy of humankind out in space, continuing an 18-year uninterrupted human presence on this fantastic laboratory. You can look up in the sky and
they that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world. When they behold the beast.
You can look up in the sky and
they behold the beast.
You will see this bright little star.
They behold the beast.
Moving over the sky.
They behold the beast that was, and is not, and yet is. And here is the mind which hath wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains, on which the woman sitteth. And there are 7 kings. 5 are fallen, and 1 is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space. And the beast that was, and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition.
You can see that on many, many nights, and if you see it, think about that humans actually built this. That
and they that dwell on the earth shall wonder.
There are right now 6 humans, soon only 3 humans up here, out of the 7 billion humans that live down on Earth. So
when they behold the beast,
give these guys a wave when you see them.
When they behold the beast, 5 are fallen, and 1 is.
I saw in my vision by night, and behold another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had 3 ribs in the mouth of it, between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, Arise, devour much flesh. To this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
It is hard to believe that this is really happening. It's really real, and that we are up here applying everything that we've learned over the past several years. And when I was doing them, I definitely had no idea that this would be one day how it would all end up.
Honestly, sometimes we weren't even sure that it was real, but it was just an incredible experience. The Falcon 9 is an awesome ride.
It almost doesn't seem real. You could have convinced me I never went.
I'll tell you, it is still difficult to believe that this is happening.
I came back and my memories were there, but it almost didn't seem real. You could have convinced me I never went.
And believing that it could happen?
That it's hard to grasp it all.
How insignificant really we are as humans.
It almost didn't seem real. I think we tend to live in our bubble of our world that's here.
It's difficult to describe exactly how it just feels different.
So when you look at the Earth from that vantage point, I know others have said this, you don't see the borders. You don't see political borders, you hardly see geographical borders.
You know, we're so used to looking at maps or globes. In low Earth orbit, you don't see a globe. In low Earth orbit, you don't see a globe. In low Earth orbit, you don't see a globe.
It is hard to believe that this is really happening. It's really real, and that we are up here applying everything that we've learned over the past several years.
The entire experience is actually very surreal. First, you're launched on a rocket. You're pulling G's as you're going out of the atmosphere. You're looking at the Earth for the first time. You're floating. Everything is different, and it just is all just such a different experience that
Everything just floats. And sometimes that is really difficult to believe that it could actually be true.
It almost doesn't seem real.
It's so amazing and such an incredible feeling that it's difficult to believe sometimes that it's actually happening.
It almost doesn't seem real. In fact, when I did my space shuttle flight for 2 weeks in 2008, when I got back, you could have convinced me I never went.
Difficult to believe that it could actually be true.
You could have convinced me I never went. This experience is so unusual and so different than anything you've ever done in your life.
I didn't think that it would actually come true.
That it's hard to grasp it all.
And sometimes that is really difficult to believe that it could actually be true.
Honestly, sometimes we weren't even sure that it was real.
It is hard to believe that this is really happening.
It's really real, and that we are up here